free, that he wants me to be comfortable, that if I need anything at all, maybe money, I should come to him, I should not be afraid. The first time he saw me, he liked me, and that I should just not be afraid. That he saw that if I walked into his office, I would see a lot of girls standing there. He knew that they were not trustworthy. That's why he did not take them to the studio. The studio is his heart. That his life is that studio. So he wants me to be loyal to him. That he does not want me to betray him at all. So I was a little bit calm. But something got me troubled again when he said I should hug him. So, well, I hugged him, and he brought out his private part that I should touch it. That he just wants me to be comfortable, he wants me to relax, that he does not want me to be afraid of him. So, that I should just touch his private part. So I did. So he said, okay, that after service, he will see me. So I started thinking about this. I started thinking that it's just about the service time and this is happening. That what is really happening, that does it really mean that T.B.Joshua really loved me? And so I went back to the studio. I was just thinking. So after a while, after about 15 minutes, he sent for me again. So I went. So he was still in his room. There was no light, but there was a candlelight. It was only that candlelight in his room. So he said that he hoped that I did not forget what he told me. I said, no, I did not. So he said I should suck his penis. So that he's doing all this so that I can be free with him, that, you know, that it's not that he just wants to scare me or, you know. So I did. So after all that, I went back to the studio and we went to the church. What was in my mind that day was that I hope what we did together will not affect the service, because I couldn't reconcile it. But during the service, he performed what he normally performed, and the service ended, and we all went back to the studio. We had to preview, we had to do some editing. Around midnight, he called me again and said, I hope no problem. I said, no problem at all. So that day he gave me 500 naira, I remember. That was the first money he gave me, 500 naira. So he said I should repeat what I did in the afternoon, which I did.
His former disciples testified that T.B.Joshua had a harem of concubines that satisfied his wildest sexual fantasy. He used his brainwashing techniques to persuade parents to release underage girls to sign up as disciples. He had orgies and encouraged competition among the girls. He even slept with 3 girls from one family. They were the daughters of his former boss from the early days.
There was this case of 3 girls of the same father and the same mother that T.B.Joshua made love with. One of the girls, called Sheung, have been in the same room together with T.B.Joshua and Sheung one time. T.B.Joshua said we should just be, rubbing his body and rubbing his private parts. At that time, Sheung was still a very little girl, maybe around 14 or 15. Each time T.B.Joshua would put Sheung's hand in his private part, Sheung would cover her face and say, no, 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 no. So at the time, T.B.Joshua said, I should go to my room, and Sheung was there. But I don't know what happened, actually, because I have to say what I know. I don't know what happened. But at the end of the day, after some time, I see that Sheung started getting more boldness and getting more matured. You can then talk to anybody, anyhow. I believe T.B.Joshua must have initiated her. And there are lots of other young girls too. I always see that Bisola and another girl called Binta normally sleep in T.B.Joshua's room. They are little girls, like 15 years. So at a time, after some time, I think they left. Two of Bisola's sisters came to join disciple in T.B.Joshua's church. And one day, I had to call Bisola's father and said, well, I need you to ask Bisola some questions. And the father was really embarrassed. Bisola opened up to her father, and the father was not really happy, and he had to withdraw his other two children. And I believe before he even withdraw them, T.B.Joshua has been sleeping with them. So sleeping with girls or sleeping with women, so T.B.Joshua has gone beyond fun. It's a spiritual thing, I believe.
He anointed some white girls as prophetesses and slept with some of them. Suzel from South Africa and Anika from Britain will tell more about this. 2 Peter 2 verse 19. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. No one could ever have watched the ministry tapes of the synagogue without being touched by the great display of humility and awesome power. Miracle upon miracle seemed to validate his claim to divine authority, and his prowess was noised all over the world. The simple testimony of another inner caucus former devotee, however, sheds great light on the grand deception that fooled the world. It is reported that T.B.Joshua would shed his cover of meekness in the inner sanctuary to